Hello, everybody. Hope you're all doing well this evening. How great was that last song? I don't know if I was the only one in the room doing an air guitar, but was anybody else there? That was such a rock. Well done, guys. Well, we're so glad to have you here this morning, whether this is your first time in this building. We're usually here in the morning, or whether you've been a million times. And don't you just love this time of year? Like the lights are shining, the evenings start to draw in around September. We're kind of in this like anticipation, aren't we, of Christmas? The shops. I was in, I think it was like Fenwick or something, in September, and they literally had their full Christmas aisle out in September. It's a little bit early, but we do live in anticipation of Christmas for a very long time. The nights draw in, it gets a little bit dark, and then you start to see Christmas lights pop up. I don't know about you, but we love Christmas lights in our family. We have 2 little boys, and every day I think our oldest would go on a walk to see the Christmas lights in North Ascot. So if you're out there with Christmas lights in North Ascot, we are very, very grateful for you. We have Disco Snowman down the road. He's a fan fave, but he doesn't come on till 5 to 5. So you've got to go down there at 5 to 5. Then you've got the Grinch in Cranbourne. Anyone from Cranbourne? The Grinch. If you haven't seen the Grinch in Cranbourne, it is taller than the house. I tell you, it is a blow-up Grinch taller than a house. Maybe I will have one of those one day. Just this afternoon, I saw another giant snowman down on, was it Prince Andrew Way? So if you want to know the sites, hook me up. I'll give you a map. We know where to go. And the darker evenings, we've got more opportunity for fires, for snuggling under blankets, and for hot chocolate. Doesn't the hot chocolate taste better in the winter? In the summer, it makes you a little bit sick, you know? But hot chocolate in the winter, something good about that. And best of all, at 5:30 it's dark, and you can tell your kids it's bedtime. But the darkness isn't always, or isn't usually associated with such good things, isn't it? It's not usually about lights and joy. It's not usually filled with such joyful anticipation. The darkness in the world, there's a darkness that actually isn't good. Sometimes the darkness we see in the world around us is actually overwhelming. We kind of flick on our phones or we look at the newspaper, and all it takes is like a moment's read for the reality of the darkness of the world to hit. Maybe it's a darkness closer to home. Maybe you're feeling the weight of that darkness at the moment, whether it's loved ones, friends or family who are suffering. And maybe it's even a darkness for you this evening, that kind of below all the fun and the lights, you're feeling it in your own heart, a sense of regret, a sense of pain that you're walking through, maybe mistakes, hopelessness. Let's face it, life can be dark. It can be really dark, can't it? And at times it can feel all-consuming. But if that's how you feel tonight, then I've got a great message for you and me, because what we need in that darkness is a message of Christmas. So let's just look back quickly at that reading we just heard, which is a description of that first Christmas day. The writer talks about a people walking in darkness. It's relevant to us, isn't it? A people walking in darkness. But he says those living in the land of darkness. But he doesn't just stop there. He says on them a light has dawned. To them a great light has come. And that's what we're looking for, isn't it? We need light, because light brings us hope. It's a symbol of hope in the darkness. You think of the Christmas lights. They bring a sense of hope. They bring a sense of something good that's coming in winter. Now, you might look at that passage and you might think, what is that light then? Is it just like a star or an angel or something nice like that? Well, we see further in the chapter that Heidi just read that actually this light is a person. In fact, even more specifically, this light that we're talking about is a leader, a king. It says a child will be born to us and the government will be on his shoulders. Now, it might be a bit surprising to hear the word government when we're talking about light. When you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders, you probably don't look to Keir Starmer. You probably don't look to King Charles, as nice as you or not nice as you may think they are. For most of us, when we think of hope, we're not looking to our leaders, are we? Leaders can actually often feel quite remote. They may be trying their best, but they don't really know our circumstance, our darkness. They don't have our interests in mind, it seems. They certainly aren't the people that we look to if we're looking for hope and light. So why is this leader that the Bible's talking about any different? How can a leader like that be light itself? Well, if we carry on in the passage after it says that this king is coming, this is a king completely unlike the world has ever seen. Let's look again at how he's described. First of all, he's not some powerless figurehead. He's mighty God, the Prince of Peace. Now, this is someone who can really make a difference. Secondly, he's not just able to make a difference, but he actually really wants to make a difference. He's willing. His name is Wonderful Counselor, Everlasting Father. This is someone he's a king and he's powerful, but also he's full of compassion, he's full of love, and he really, really cares. And he shows that to us on how he draws near to us. Because this king is introduced as a child. To us, a child will be born. And when we think of a little child, don't we? We see it in its weakness, in its humility, and that is how this king will come, as a child, in weakness, in humility, as a newborn child. And this is what we need. We need someone who's going to bring us comfort in the challenges of life, who can not only offer us guidance and encouragement, but also who can come alongside us. One who knows what it is to walk in the darkness, who is not distant, but not only that, someone who is also very powerful, who is mighty, the King of Kings, one who can actually give us hope because he can make things right. And this is what Christmas gives to us. When Jesus was born 2,000 years ago in Bethlehem, this is who he was. This is who the passage is talking about. This little baby, this child given to us. It was God himself, born as one of us, entering our world of darkness. And he knew what it was to suffer. He grew up as a child in this world. He walked like this life. And he knew loss. He knew darkness. He knew even what it was to die on the cross, a horrible death. But it didn't end there. On the third day, we read how he rose again, how he defeated death and he defeated darkness. And this means that we can know him, that we can enjoy peace, that we can enjoy guidance in our lives, and that we can have a hope that when he returns, he'll make all of the darkness nothing but a memory. So he helps us in our darkness as we walk through the darkness of life, because it is dark. But one day he will wipe away every tear. All darkness will be gone. Darkness will be nothing but a memory. And that is why we celebrate Christmas. Because in this world of darkness, Jesus is the light that will never go out. And one day he will deal with darkness forever. Now, maybe this is the first time you've kind of heard this story of Jesus. Maybe this has left you with some questions, with some things you want to explore. Maybe this king is something that you kind of want to look into a bit more. Well, I invite you, come and explore him. We exist as a church to help everybody find hope in Jesus. And Simon's going to point you to some ways in which you can do that. And we can direct you and help you with that as a church. But maybe even now as we sing, Jesus is here with us, we believe. And we believe he wants to meet with you. So why don't you ask him in your own heart, God, if you're real, why don't you reveal yourself to me? Why don't you speak to me? And see what happens.